Hello, this is Daniel Vayon with the Daniel Vayon Gazette Pod. I was on Reddit about maybe 20 minutes ago at the most, where I was um, just searching how to how to prepare or how to get trained in wrestling without having to get physical, because I wasn't completely sure if the training I found is the training I was looking for. Because even though I did get an email from Wildcat Wrestling Training Center, or whatever it's called here in Louisiana, where I'm from, where they did say that there's 2 levels of training, but the training for managers, separate from wrestling, is limited. But the way they were describing it in the website itself, wasn't sure if if they would accept me. So I just started doing some research, and I found out that one of the best ways to prepare for training, or really to prepare for being a manager, is to just, if you know how to act, if you have any ability to act, for instance, the last time I acted in a play, which the significance of that is, the play I acted in, which was a Christmas play, was actually very similar to what they do in wrestling, where they tell a story with their facial expressions. So basically what you do is, like, let's say that you want the fans to know that either you're upset, or you think that somebody's doing a really bad job against your client, then you make a face like this, like that. And sometimes, no, I don't think a lot of people realize how a lot of times that's not just an act, it's how people really feel, because today there's mistakes are very noticeable on camera. So sometimes it's not that people are doing a good job of selling, it's that that's how people really feel. So if you can just imagine feeling like that, but exaggerated, that's what I would do. I'd do like this, like that. That would be the best way I could try to exaggerate feeling disappointed or upset about something. However, when you get trained at the Wildcat Wrestling Training Center, as I call it, I don't really know if they call it a training center or not. One of the foundations of the training is to is how you it's just like what it's called, managing. It's how to manage a wrestler. They do an entire book. They put together an entire book of for you to study about how to manage wrestlers, and I believe in that booklet you also learn how to what's the word I'm looking for? You learn locker room etiquette. You learn what's respectful, what's not respectful. And when you watch the Undertaker's podcast, maybe called 6 Feet Under, I'm not sure, but it's on YouTube. Like, my Daniel Vale Gazette podcast is on YouTube. I believe it's called 6 Feet Under, and I saw a little bit of Mark Henry's appearance on there. How the reason he met Owen Hart, he shared a story about how he met Owen Hart, and he just said in a nutshell, I'm just going to condense it so that I don't ruin it for people who haven't seen the video. But the full story was, not the full story, let me restate that. But here's the gist of the story. He got upset with someone, threatened to beat them up, so Vince or somebody in the office sent him to Canada to punish him. And that's how he first met Owen Hart. And Owen Hart was the first person to fill him in on why people did what they did to get him mad. And he said that if they had the etiquette, if they taught locker room etiquette when he started, he never would have been upset with anyone because he would have known how to act the right way in the locker room. So let's just say he got mad for some type of joke. I'm going to let y'all hear the rest of it on the Undertaker's video podcast on YouTube. And, being a fan of wrestling for almost 33 years now, I can say that one thing that we don't see enough from managers, it's getting their clients' attention to where they tell them do this or do that. Now, I don't want to reveal too much. This is what I would have. I was just watching Raw from this past Monday night, and I saw something in the Liv Morgan versus Io Sky Elimination Chamber qualifying match, I believe it is. And Io Sky, I have to, on the Roku channel, I have to hit the button where it's like rewind, but it's a lot quicker. Right here. He spoke about Roxanne Perez lasting longer than anybody in the history of the Women's Royal Rumble match. As Liv Morgan got out the ring and Io Sky made the mistake of not letting go of the hair because it's not considered breaking the rules if your client is in the ring, then if I would have been in that position, if I would have been managing somebody like an Io Sky, I would have looked at her and I would have made the comment, I would have made the look like, don't do that. And it's things like that I notice are of necessity. Like I said, I want to share too much, but that's just a small taste of what I noticed. So, there's more. I know there's more than just small things like that you have to do when you're a manager, but the main thing you have to learn how to tell a story with just your facial expressions a lot of times. For my money, I would wear because knowing how hard it is for me to speak clearly for a lot of people, because I speak very low and very soft, so by nature. So what I would do is I would take one of those um, microphones that you put right here on your shirt, and it's usually a dress shirt that you put on when you're wearing a suit. Or put almost like one of those cordless microphones that you put on, like on the side of your pants, and right here is where if this was a regular dress shirt, you just put the microphone here and you would just start to speak. So that's what I would do. And I think because I don't want to do a takeoff of somebody, at least not without permission. So what I would do is I would do that, unless of course somebody thought that, unless of course there was another option. But anyway, I said I wanted to talk more about sports when I do these podcasts. I do have a couple of SportsCenter videos that I have recorded. What I like about SportsCenter is when you watch SportsCenter, you can what's the word I'm looking for? You can look at almost any and all any old segments or clips from games or from interviews. Like the first one, and this is actually very relevant now because it's about the Super Bowl. Has to do with the Super Bowl this Sunday. They have the banner out. They have, because of the colors of the Super Bowl team, the reporter who's on the left side is in Kansas City's colors, and the reporter on the right side is in the Eagles colors. So I thought that was interesting. I would put closed captioning for moments like this. So the Eagles are the defending champions, I think he was saying in so many words. He said he was asking person in the Philadelphia Eagles position right here on the camera. was asking him what the Kansas City Chiefs had to say about the game. This is talk about if they had anything to say, or specifically what they had to say about stopping Saquon Barkley. He said, "We are right now elevated above